A quick check. We talked about HAL and how they've bagged a significant order from the Indian Airforce. Remember, HAL's order backlog had stood at 94,000 crores, and this was at the end of FY24. Now bringing it to about 1.2 lakh crores after this big order win. We've got Anushi standing by with more on this. Anushi, with this expanded backlog, HAL now has a strong revenue visibility of 3.8 times its TTM revenue is what I believe. A couple of brokerages like Antique have already given out an aggressive buy call on the stock. You want to walk us through the significance of this order and what it means for its revenue, revenue visibility?
Hey, morning, Samina. So as you mentioned that it's quite a large order win that we are looking at for HAL. First, let's just talk about the order in general. What is this order pertaining to? So HAL has received the government nod to procure Su-30 aero-engines, and this is at a cost consideration of about 26,000 crores that we are looking at. And these aero-engines order that we are seeing is for about 240 aero-engines for procuring these aero-engines. Again, this will also have a 54% of an indigenous component as per the defense in general, the theme to bring higher indigenous component from here on forward. About this aircraft also that we are looking at, so Su-30 MKI, it's a twin jet multi-air superiority fighter aircraft which is developed by the Russia Sukhoi and built under license by HAL. Now, if you have to look at the delivery updates for this 26,000 crore order that we are looking at, deliveries are expected to start from next year onwards and will continue. The supply will continue for a 8-year period from there on. Coming to the order book performance, as you pointed out, a 94,000 crore of an order book that we looked at the end of FY24, and they expect that this outstanding order book by FY25 end should be anywhere in the 1.2 lakh crore of a bracket range. In this also order book that we are seeing, 47,000 crore of orders are expected to materialize in this 1-year time frame itself. Coming to the valuations, also the other aspects of the business, if you look at the trailing P, that was about 41x, while in FY25 to 26, it more or less remains in the similar range of 40x for FY25 and 26, about 35x. It goes down in this year onwards. Coming to the stock performance, HAL, as in the defense holds pack, has been one of the strongest players. While the 1 month return, it's been 2%. The defense sector in general in this 1 month has been under pressure. If you look at the 6 months and the 1-year return, that has been on the stronger side. 46% of a return in the last 6 months, while in 1 year we are seeing about 136% of a return. Coming to the last piece is the analyst recommendations. You pointed out the aggressive strategy of Antique having a buy rating, but overall if you take a consensus view, 12 hold about a buy rating, while 1 has a hold rating and 2 sell rating, so which implies about a 12% upside potential from the current levels that we look at. So this is the whole gist on what is happening in Hindustan Aeronautics, how significant this order is, and the company's total order book, which stood at about 94,000 crore at the end of FY24.
Anushi, it is an important one. In fact, Antique has also said that HAL is fairly valued despite a 66% jump that the stock has seen in the last 1 year. They are expecting a potential multi-year double-digit earnings growth on HAL, and this order is, of course, taking the order book to 1.2 lakh crores. So it's a big win for HAL, hoping some. And with these defense stocks, if you're one counter that does well, the whole sector usually picks up, right?
And this is coming on the back of a month of severe underperformance, right? Defense has been very, very sluggish.
It's been on the sell side, in fact.
So so because that is happening, you need positive triggers. Now we all know that these orders will be spread over multiple years, so on and so forth. It adds to an order book which is already large. Everything granted, but there is a whiff of pessimism out there. This kind of thwarts that a little bit for HAL at least. Let's see if it gets passed on to the others.
My only point to that is where that pessimism is coming from, Neeraj, is the size of defense allocation in the budget. Which to a lot of players in the industry and those who watch it felt that it was not as much as was expected. Now that overnight is not going to change. A lot of these orders have been put in place from before, so perhaps there will be bigger triggers needed to fundamentally change that direction.
Also with HAL, I think one good thing that stands out in this one is the IAF has said that they're not very happy with HAL's speed of execution. So they've actually urged HAL to go out and ensure timely execution of this big order win. So while this will be spread over a few years, HAL is a counter to watch this morning. And if I had to think about this, I think BDL and the rest of the sector also could see some buying on a sentimental impact.